And for the next talk for the day is Mr. Thomas Kurian. He will be giving the talk of the difference between the reality and feeling of the security, information security and human being. Mr. Thomas Kurian, CRISC, is last 2011, is an information security consultant with wings to IT solutions. He is based in Bangalore, India. Thomas was honored with the prestigious Information Security Leadership Achievement Award by ISC for 2011. I request Mr. Thomas to take over the stage. Thank you.
I'm Thomas. I work with Wings to IT Solutions. So my talk for the day will be on the reality and feeling of information security. Actually, I was supposed to have this session along with my primary speaker, Mr. Ambat, who is the author of the standard which I am going to mention, or the methodology here called HIMIS. So the three pieces of information security, or the three components of information security, are the technology, process, and the people. But the reality is that the technical controls and the process controls will function effectively if the people who manages or uses it do it in a responsible way. So the focus of my talk will be the human factor in information security, the difference between awareness and competence. This is actually the terminologies which is there in the methodology, which I will be explaining at the later part of time. The power of perception and a solution model with an example. So let's take awareness with a real life example. We all know traffic rules. So awareness component, or the awareness is that I am aware of the traffic rule, but is it necessary that it is going to make me a good driver? There is no guarantee that my awareness on traffic rule is going to make me a good driver. So in this case, what we need to do is to convert the awareness into competence of behavior. Behavior and competence, we say here I will be mentioning, is the same thing. So once the awareness gets converted into competence, I will become a good driver. The same case happens in information security also. There are organizations where you have good ISMS in place, with good policies neatly written, communicated with the employees. So let's take the password policy of a company. Every company will have a password policy, and the policy will say that never share your passwords. But in reality, what happens is the employees will change the password. So what really happens here is that the awareness, what is given to the employee, is not getting practiced, or it is not changing in your behavior. So now let's look at what is the relation between awareness, behavior, and culture. With the last password example, awareness is that I know that password should not be shared. When it comes to behavior, I need to ensure that I am not sharing the password with anybody else. But when it comes to real practice, if I started following the behavior, or if behavior is getting converted into me, other people also will start following it. So that finally will become the culture of the company. So in that case, what happens is that becomes the awareness of the information security objective of the company is met. So we call it as the aim for a responsible security culture. So typically today, any organization needs something like this, a dashboard which says that my awareness score at any point of time and my competence or the behavior score at any point of time. Why this is required is, I have seen many organizations where the top management is ready to spend money or budget for information security awareness, because information security awareness is becoming a hot cake in the market, where we have client requirements also. When I go for client audits, I used to face questions from my client or the vendor side that what are your senior management anyway is ready to spend money. But what eventually happens is, where is the money going? They are skeptical on it. They can't see anything. But from an information security team perspective, the InfoSec team is ready to spend their effort and time on giving awareness, but they are not able to show any results for that. Or the effectiveness cannot be shown to anybody. For an end user, what happens is he is getting long lectures, training, this, that, and all, and he is not satisfied with that. So the awareness is not getting converted into behavior, and finally, the information security awareness or the project becomes a total failure. So now let's look into the power of perception, of how perception influences information security. For this, let's take a real life example. Imagine that it's a hypothetical situation where APJ Abdul Kalam walks into this room right now and offers you a glass of water. At the same time, a man with a mask also enters this room and offers you this glass of water. Which one will you choose? The first one or the second one? So now my question is, why did you choose the first one? Did you check the content? I mean, did you test the water, or did you look for the person? Obviously, we look for the person. Why? Because the person has got a credibility. The same thing happens in information security also. Our perceptions always are getting influenced by something called as trust. Or we look at trust and we make judgments. So now let's look at another example. Of these two, I have a burger on one side and a shark on the other side. Which one terrifies you the most? Obviously, because as per the statistics, what happens is that the burger will, many people die because of heart attacks rather than by getting a shark attack. But people always, or we always have the feeling that when we feel that we are secure, but in reality of security, we are not secure in some cases. Another example of these two which terrifies me the most. Adrenal leukodystrophy. It is actually a disease which affects your human tissues. That is what I know. I don't know the more technical meaning. And I have French fries. So in the reality, what happens is that as per the statistics, many kids die because of having French fries rather than adrenal leukodystrophy. So what I am trying to say here is, at some point of time, by hearing the name of the disease, we feel that it's a huge disease or it is going to happen. Once it happens, you are done. But in reality, what happens is that it is not as risky as what we saw for the French fries. So at some point of time, people try to exaggerate this. Now let's look at why we should. Now we understand that there is a human factor. That's why I gave this real life example. Now let's look at why we should address the human factor in information security. For security practitioners, including me, security or information security is nothing but a reality with mathematical calculation. Even I do risk analysis, I come up with impact, probability value, I do risk mitigation, then I come up with the residual risk value, then I sit with my CISO to find out how to mitigate that residual risk, or I am going to, whether to treat it in the next cycle, all these things. But for end user, it is simple. It doesn't matter whether it is threat or probability or impact. It is just a feeling. So, end user, from an end user perspective, end user is only looking at the perception best or the world's best security systems in place from a technical control wise and from the process control wise. But what really happened here is that they really failed to address the human factor. So if they had addressed this human factor, the attack would have avoided. So the attacker was that smart. So what the attacker did is, he went to the another level where we have the human factor, and he exploited the human element of, or the perception or the trust of the employees who worked in RSA. So I totally agree with you. Technology is very important. Technology cannot be avoided. Process cannot be avoided. But you need to give the human element also equal importance. Otherwise, what happens is that at some point of time, not every time, but at some point of time, it is likely that your human element or the human factor inside your organization can get exploited. A typical example from a technology perspective. The aircraft or the aeronautics technology has improved a lot, but did the training for pilot requirement come down? Does any air carrier will allow a fresher to join as a pilot? Never. Same is the case with medical technology. Medical science has improved a lot. You have new machines, new devices, super specialty hospitals. So when you go to the hospital, will you look at the technology or you look for the doctor? Obviously, you look for the doctor. If the doctor is not as skilled, there is no use of the technology there. So now let me propose a solution model for how to effectively manage the awareness and competent management. The solution is based on HIMIS, Human Impact Management Information Security. This is released under Creative Commons and it is free for non-commercial use. It is available on the internet. I will give you the link. It is isqboard.com/HIMIS. So HIMIS has got an implementation model. The first step is define, second will be strategize, third will be deliver, and the fourth will be verify. So the ultimate objective of this is to bring in information security behavior which will gradually form the part of the information security culture. So don't expect information security drastic change in the culture all of a sudden. It will take time. We have implemented this as a pilot project for a couple of organizations. For the last 3 years, we are doing assessments, everything on a regular basis, but still it has not become the culture of the organization. So it takes time. So in the define phase, what we do is we choose the ESPs. ESPs are expected security practices, which is similar to the ISO 27001 controls or the control activities. Then, once the ESP is chosen, we go to the senior management, review the list of ESPs, and we get the approval for that. And the next point, what we need to ensure is that once the ESPs are finalized, get a buy-in from all the stakeholders, from all the departments. Otherwise, what happens is this will not be a success. Next comes the strategizing phase or the plan phase, where you have two components, awareness and behavior. So you need to plan for both cases, awareness management and the behavior management. You have first you need to look at the coverage. Coverage is nothing but what is the target workforce you are looking. Are you looking for middle level managers or are you looking for an end user? The training what you are going to, or the awareness what you are going to give to a senior manager and an end user or a middle level manager once you give the awareness content, and you cannot leave it all on a sudden. In periodic basis, you need to ensure that you are retaining that level of awareness with the workforce. So that can be done through either surveys or quiz or written test, whatever is viable. Then comes the behavior management. Here you have 2 points. One is motivational strategies and enforcement strategies. So the first one is very rare. I haven't ever seen anywhere where a motivation strategy, that is rewarding for a good security behavior. I haven't seen it anywhere, in any company, so far, from my experience. But definitely the second point is there. If you have a violation, you will be penalized for it, or you will get a penalization for it. Next comes the deliver. So here what happens is, the first one is tolerable deviation. Tolerable deviation is nothing but if you suppose your organization is very huge and you have 10,000 employees, it is not possible for you to cover all the workforce at one shot. So what you can do is you can do a planned activity. You will say that the first quarter I will target 20%, next quarter I will target 50%, like that. Then comes the efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but how efficient was your delivery, whether it reached the target audience. In the sense, if you have seen the video, whether the video streaming was good, whether all the target audience was able to view the video, or if it is a classroom training, how was the trainer, how effective was the training, etc. Then comes the collection of feedback. So it is very important that you should get a feedback from the employees so that this will help you to improve the content and deliver it for the next cycle. Also, you need to get the confirmation of result. It is nothing but the attendance. So based on the attendance, you will come up with the awareness score. So awareness score calculation, one of the parameters will be your attendance. This is verified, same like what we have in 27,000 PDCA cycles. Here you have audit strategies. So first you need to select the ESPs. So why I say that you need to select ESPs? So suppose you are in the plan phase, you have looked for 12 ESPs, expected security practice. But during verify, you decided that for this time I am only going to look at 4 ESPs. It is not possible to audit 12 ESPs all on a sudden. Then you have to define the sample size. Sample size should be very efficient, otherwise your result will not be accurate. Then you go for the audit methods. So here also you have 2 components, the awareness and the behavior component. Awareness can be measured by interviews, surveys, quizzes. For behavior, what you need to do is either you can observe people or review the incident reports. You can do social engineering. Social engineering is the ideal form. What I do when I go for the audit of behavioral assessment. And I do observation also. Some of the examples for doing social engineering exercises in an organization for behavioral assessment is deploy false images, tailgate into the facility, the auditor can tailgate into the facility, or you can go to the cafeteria and put a CD saying confidential information, salary appraisal for the year 2000. So once the person picks up or if the CD is missing from there, it should be reported as per the policy. So if it is not reported, that means the awareness has not been converted into behavior. So finally, you will get a report model where it says that your organization awareness was this, and the organization behavior score or competence score was this. So always remember that a high awareness will not guarantee a good behavior. So if there is a gap between your awareness and behavior, there is something wrong. So you need to go and verify, review, and find out what is the gap, and you need to close the gap. So HIMIS basically focus on differentiate between awareness versus competence. So every ESP what we define will have an awareness component and a best way to actually influence the perception of any user. You visualize or you make them visualize the real information security incidents so that the user is aware. For example, take the case of a spam mail. For the user, it is just a feeling. The user will have a feeling that I don't want to verify. If I feel it is from a genuine source, I am going to click on it. But the reality is something else. What happens? The user machine can get infected or it can go to a disaster. So if you can visualize that in a video or in a content, show it to the user, you are trying to influence the perception of the user, and the perception gets changed and the awareness gets converted into behavior. Next one is a scenario-based training. Scenario-based training is nothing but you give real life or real information security incidents to the employee, let them solve it and go forward. So for that, what I will do is I will show you a sample video. So this is a scenario-based video where the user has to interact with the video and solve the challenges and go forward. So I'm going to begin the race. Which is the correct answer? First one. So the next one is the normal segregation. Rather than giving all the information security awareness and trainings at one shot, you need to give it in bits and pieces, like the small short video what we have seen. So the user also is able to grasp. Rather than giving a 2-hour session on information security training or the induction program, you can give a small induction program with all the necessary policies and procedures, and you can again start giving the same tutorial or the content in a short video or a newsletter once in a while, so that the user is able to grasp it. Otherwise, what happens is that for any user, security is not a priority. For them, what is important is getting their job done on time. So when you give a long session, what happens is that the user will not be able to grasp it, or user will hardly go through it. Even if he is going to sit in your session, the presence of mind will be on his job. So the awareness will not get converted into behavior at that point of time. Remeasure frequently. This is what we said, reassessment. So every frequent or every periodic basis, you make sure that you are reassessing the awareness and the competence. So if you see that there is a gap, last time the awareness was 90%, right now it is 87%. There is something wrong. In that case, you need to review that and close the gap. So this is actually a true word what a client has given me. A smart user in front of the computer is a good security control, and is not that expensive. So that's the end of my session. If you have any, if you need the HIMS standard or if you need any information on this, you can go to the site ispworld.com/HIMS. ISP World also has got, or ISP World is actually built on this HIMS methodology, where the content specialization or the awareness and training, content and methodologies or strategies are being delivered. Any questions? So if you have any questions, you can always mail me. My mail ID is tomsk@ambat.com, or you can also contact the ispworld.com mail ID. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for sharing your knowledge with us. I request Pankaj from ClubHack Group to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Thomas.
I would like to thank Rohit for giving me an opportunity to participate in ClubHack 2012 as a speaker. Special thanks to the ClubHack team for the hospitality, and hope to see you all in ClubHack 2013. Thank you.